Hey everybody, I thought I would make a really short video just to help you make sure you get all your points, and I've gotten a number of questions about where to turn in what. So what you see up on the screen is your group project instructions, your rubric, and I know you're all very familiar with this already. So I just want to show you this for a second, and that is so that you can see that I am going to actually label things in a website that I have sort of mocked up for you guys to show you how I can best give you all your points, which relies on you labeling things and putting them in your website in a way that I can actually find them so that I can see that you did them. All right, so you notice the report sections. There's section A, which is the problem, identify a social problem to study, why did your group choose this project, what are the motives of the group members, and then B is market research. And as I scroll down, the first part of C is the organization's mission, vision, board, work, corporate form, etc. So let's go over here to my website. I made this on Weebly. You can actually, here, I'll make this bigger so that you can go look it up if you want to, but even though it's there for you and it's an example, just know that it is not in any way, shape, or form finished, and so you should only use it as a rough example for how to maybe do some labeling. All right, so this is the home page of my website. You can see it's nothing more than a cute puppy picture and Hearts and Homes Rescue. If you actually scroll down, this website is a sample portfolio for NLM 220 nonprofit, blah, blah, blah. But basically, there's a lot of stuff in here that is nothing that I think Weebly identified that there were pets involved and slapped in some things to give me some examples. You can fill all those out, or you can just delete them if they don't fit what you're doing. Okay, here's where we get started. Most websites have a link that's called About. I chose to have an About link, and I put the three things that were A and B and C. They're not in the right order, but they're labeled, so as an educator I could find them. Why we're here. That was that first question. We chose this project because we believe all domestic animals have a right to a safe and loving environment. We specialize in the hard-to-place animals who need socialization, medical assistance, or other rehabilitation before they're ready to be placed with a forever family. We also train families to work with difficult pets as an alternative to discarding them. All right, so you can see that under my About tab, I have actually addressed the problem. Identify a social problem that I'm studying, and why did we choose the motives? All right, I didn't call it the problem, but I did call it something like, why did your group choose this project? I can figure out why are we here. Just make sure your label is close enough that I can figure it out. The research section, which is section B, is right here. I actually didn't fill it in. I don't have time to go do all that research, plus some of you actually do this kind of project and I don't want to give it away. And then I did actually write a mission statement. It's a little bit different than what I said in my other, because I wrote them at different times. But anyway, Hearts and Homes works to provide safe haven to difficult to place rescue animals, particularly older animals, animals with medical or psychological problems, animals that have experienced trauma and need a calm, stable environment for recovery. We also work to keep pets and their people together when financial challenges threaten to separate them. There's nothing in here about training, and again, that's only because I wrote them at two separate times. If your mission statement and your why you're here don't conform, you might want to conform them, but I don't have time to do it. All right, so my vision is a community fully collaborating to enable pets and their people to remain together despite life's challenges and to ensure safety, shelter, and care for our community's canine residents until they find a family of their own. Okay, so anyway, that's my mission and vision. I haven't filled in the rest of these. The reason I'm showing them to you is basically just so you can see that each of these tabs corresponds to something that I've asked you for. Resource needs, barriers, assessment, marketing, etc. So you would basically, behind each of those tabs, you would upload the parts of this rubric and report that match what you've been asked for. I hope this is making some sense to you. I'm basically just suggesting that you use labels wisely so that I can find your stuff. Okay, so the only thing that does not get uploaded from the rubric and gets turned in somewhere else is the peer evaluation. Team members each need to individually do a peer evaluation, and that peer evaluation has a place to turn it in the Dropbox. Every other thing you did, if you filled out an assessment form and you need to upload it, put it here under a tab that says assessment or whatever. Embed your video here under marketing. In other words, you need to put everything you did up here, and these may not be all the tabs you use. You may have more tabs than this, or you may decide to list some of your tabs, like I have sub-tabs under About. I didn't go and finish all these things. I get it a little closer every semester, but I just started doing this and I haven't had time to do the whole thing. But you can see that basically if I look under About, I'm going to find those 3 parts from the rubric. And these actually correspond to other parts from the rubric. So I'm not going to have any trouble finding your information. If you did a form, you can either take a picture of it or you can copy and paste it into the area where it needs to go. Just make sure that everything that we did in class that needs to be turned in is actually up here on your website so that I can find everything in one place. If you have any additional questions, I hope this helps, but obviously email me if you are still wondering where something goes.